In our school, there was a boy named Adrian who was always the subject of relentless bullying. Every single day classmates mocked him, threw things at him, whispered insults behind his back, and sometimes even physically shoved him into lockers, and though I never joined them, I always felt guilty watching, because he walked through those hallways like a ghost, shoulders hunched, eyes fixed on the ground, as if he had already accepted that he was invisible except when people wanted to hurt him. And for weeks I tried to talk to him, tried to sit next to him during lunch, tried to smile when we crossed paths in the corridors, but he would never respond, never meet my gaze, never give me even a nod, and the more he avoided me, the more I wanted to understand the mystery that wrapped around him like a suffocating fog. One day after another, I noticed that his notebook had strange drawings in the corners, symbols, coded numbers, and what looked like onion links written in messy scrawls, and at first I dismissed it as random doodles until one afternoon, when he dropped his bag in the library, a small paper slipped out that had "The Hollow Forum" written across the top with a Tor address underneath, and curiosity got the best of me, so that night I downloaded Tor, typed the link, and entered a page so grim it made my stomach tighten, because the forum was filled with threads discussing revenge, digital traps, and anonymous contracts on people, and among the usernames one stood out, Scarecrow_0inch, posting chillingly detailed updates about how bullies deserve to disappear into silence, and as I read, my blood ran cold because the style of writing, the words, even the handwriting-like font in his avatar signature were identical to the scribbles I had seen in Adrian's notebook, and suddenly the puzzle started piecing together in my mind. He wasn't just a victim, he was quietly building something in the shadows, a web of darkness, a refuge where pain transformed into power. And I should have backed away then, closed the browser, deleted everything, but instead, I found myself scrolling for hours, unable to stop, because the posts didn't just talk about hate. They described methods, step-by-step instructions to de-anonymize bullies, to leak their secrets, to hack their social accounts, and even to make them vanish in ways I didn't understand. And then, almost like fate, a new thread appeared titled, Next Target, Real Time, and it described with eerie accuracy the personal details of the loudest bully in our school, Jason, who had just the previous day shoved Adrian into a locker while everyone laughed. And when I saw Jason's address, his family's names, his daily schedule laid out in terrifying detail, I realized that Adrian wasn't only venting on the forum, he was preparing action, something irreversible, and 2 days later, Jason didn't show up at school. Teachers said he was sick. But whispers spread that his parents couldn't find him at all, and my chest tightened with a mix of horror and guilt, because I knew where to look for answers, and sure enough, on the Hollow Forum, Scarecrow_0 had posted an update. One seed of cruelty buried, the soil a little lighter. And the replies were a mixture of applause and warnings, but no one reported anything. No one even questioned if it was real, because in the dark web, reality and imagination bled together until they were indistinguishable. Yet the next week another bully vanished, then another, each disappearance perfectly mirrored by new cryptic posts on Adrian's account. And though police came to the school, asking questions, checking security cameras, they found nothing, no leads, as if the kids had been erased by thin air. But every time I glanced at Adrian, his once sunken eyes now carried a strange fire, a confidence that chilled me because it wasn't the look of someone healed. It was the look of someone who had finally embraced the abyss inside, and the more I tried to talk to him, the more he avoided me until finally I made a mistake. I posted anonymously on the forum, asking Scarecrow_0 why he wouldn't let anyone help him, why he pushed away even those who wanted to be his friend, and the reply I got still makes my skin crawl, because he wrote, "Friendship dies when trust is poison, and you've been watching me too closely, don't think I didn't notice." And that night, while sitting in my room, I heard my phone buzz with a notification from an unknown number showing me a live photo of myself through my own bedroom window, and I realized Adrian, or rather Scarecrow_0, had turned his attention toward me, maybe testing me, maybe warning me, maybe marking me as the next entry in his ledger of vengeance. And ever since, I've been trapped in this cycle of paranoia, refreshing the Hollow Forum, watching his posts grow darker, more elaborate, more ritualistic, waiting for the day my name appears under Next Target. And I know I should report, should speak, should scream, but every time I draft a message or think about telling an adult, a new notification comes, a new photo from an angle I didn't know was possible, reminding me that I'm already inside his net, and maybe that's why I'm writing this here on Reddit. Not to confess, not to warn, but to document the descent, because the truth is, Adrian was never alone. He built a kingdom in the dark. And all of us who ignored his suffering are now unwilling citizens of his empire. And though I once wanted to be his friend, now I only pray I won't be his final story. But if you're reading this, maybe you'll understand why the missing posters in our town keep multiplying. Why our school feels emptier every week. Why silence has become louder than laughter, and why sometimes the darkest monsters are not the bullies who hurt us in the open, but the ones who learn to turn pain into shadows, and then make the world disappear inside them.